Right now on this special edition of Denver7 News.
Many cases we're all learning together,
Wolf reintroduction in Colorado.
It's a historic, exhausting, and hopeful.
There's no simple way to sum it up.
We had black hair before the wolves, right?
Ranchers facing a new reality.
Those are our cows, they're part of the family, and no good.
Hard questions for those at the top.
But why not move them again?
Why not replicate the thing I'm being attacked for?
And an unexpected exit, leaving the future in limbo.
It's like preparing for a hurricane. You don't know how big or how hard it's going to hit.
PACs, Pushback and Progress. We're diving into the realities of wolf reintroduction here in Colorado during this special edition of Denver7. I'm Colette Bordelon. Now, the process of bringing this apex predator back to Colorado, it's one voters approved 5 years ago now. And for the agency tasked with doing so, it's been both historic and exhausting. At the same time, for those living and working on these expansive ranches of Colorado, they're left wondering what their future might look like with wolves on the landscape too. We start this complex conversation with an inside look at how Colorado Parks and Wildlife has both learned and adapted to the challenge they were handed, one that has no simple solution. Out of all the animals roaming across Colorado, it's gray wolves in the spotlight. Colorado Parks and Wildlife, or CPW, is responsible for their reintroduction.
I know who you are and where you're working from, but I don't know that everyone else does.
They, along with the CDA, Colorado Department of Agriculture, invited reporters to learn more about the tactics used to minimize conflict between wolves and livestock.
Wolves are a new species, for sure, and there's a lot that comes with that.
A classroom can only go so far.
Having your headlamp is really valuable.
And getting outside is the best bet to understanding one of their most valuable tools, range riders.
Almost every deployment I was on this summer, we got rained out.
That's Jesse Lassiter.
Me and Jesse actually almost have reached our 1 year mark.
And this is Shelby Nyberg.
Transparency, I think, has been the biggest thing the producers have asked.
The two patrol parcels of land in order to protect livestock from predators.
Most of the tools work most of the time, but not all the time. Animals can do some crazy things that aren't, normal.
Range riders might be picked as part of the solution for certain producers following a site assessment. More than 200 of those evaluations have been done since the wolf reintroduction began, where the state helps identify what non-lethal hazing techniques would be best for a specific property.
Communication is a huge key. It kind of can make or break the situation for sure.
These two are both with the State Department of Agriculture.
Shelby and Jesse can provide the same kind of impact as any of our damage specialists.
They work closely with CPW's Adam Baca, the wolf conflict coordinator, and Lauren Emmerich, a wildlife damage specialist.
The more we can do on the front end, which is quite a bit, the more it's just going to smooth out this whole process for both us, the producers, the wolves.
Fladry is another way to try and scare wolves off.
This year, 17.5 miles of Fladry was deployed. Of those 10 projects that happened this year, 8 of them were proactive, 2 of them were reactive, right? And so that's positive. That's what we want to see.
These little red flags aren't exactly easy to install.
Okay. Each post, if you're pretty good and pretty aggressive, it's going to take about 5 pounds per post. You're doing about 75 posts per Fladry enclosure.
And there are options like this pepper ball launcher. They still haven't tried yet on wolves.
Crank this little guy forward. You can hear that click. We've got a scope. We've got this fun light.
Baca says so far CPW has been part of more than 30 successful conflict minimizations related to wolves since their reintroduction.
We do what we can where we can as often as we can and kind of go from there.
But
that's good. You're free. You're home free.
As they pack up for the night.
2 hours or so.
Yeah, takedowns don't take as long.
There's 3 words they'd use to describe the program.
It's a historic, exhausting, and hopeful.
A process that happens once in a blue moon.
Gray wolves have historically called Colorado home. Their diet originally consisted of things like bison, elk, and deer, animals that were overhunted. And when that happened, wolves turned to livestock for their next meal. Many were killed by people as a result. They were eradicated in Colorado by the 1940s. This time of year is typically quiet when it comes to those kinds of conflicts between wolves and livestock. Breeding season for the canine species is right around the corner. It normally runs from January until late March. Pups are born in April or May, staying with their moms in a den for at least a month. They depend entirely on their pack to survive during that time, with the male providing food for the nursing mother.
In general, half of the pups that are born in spring of one year will make it to the next year, maybe a little bit more than half. You know, but it's tough in that first year of life. They're pretty vulnerable early on, and then they have a lot to learn when they start to travel with the pack. They're learning how to hunt. They're learning about, you know, kind of territory skirmishes with neighboring packs.
While wolves are working to feed their packs, spring is when ranchers across the state prepare for their calving season, a time when their to-do list it's already overwhelming. And now certain Colorado ranchers have the added stress of wolves lingering around their herd. Reintroducing wolves is as much a story about the species as it is about their relationships with humans. And that hit home this year in Pitkin County, where one controversial pack caused a lot of problems. I spoke with two producers who are demanding answers from the state.
Old snowmass through new eyes. It's a piece of paradise in Pitkin County.
Coming from an area where you never seen a mountain before, right? It's like, man, this is never gonna get old.
Mike Cervani and Brad Day have called this home for over 30 years, and they've known each other practically their entire lives.
6th grade? About 12 years, I guess, right?
Hasn't been that long.
Try to explain to somebody what we do. You know, I think, we wear a bunch of different hats, right?
Their work and livelihood
Beef cattle, Simmental Angus.
are the cattle off in the distance.
We like taking care of the land.
It's what they were born to do,
It's interesting when you find something that becomes who you are.
but they're living in a changing landscape.
We had black hair before the wolves, right? We're only 21 and he's 19.
In January of this year, new neighbors moved a bit too close for comfort.
We don't dislike wolves, we just dislike the conflict. And this particular pack seems to have a history of conflict.
Stephanie Butzer, our digital executive producer, and I sat down with Cervani and Day on July 2nd.
We knew that wolves were coming. We did not know at the time that it was Copper Creek wolves.
For the first few months of the year, they didn't realize it was the Copper Creek Pack, which is infamous among Colorado ranchers.
I've just, and Brad I'm sure did too, just ran his operation like nothing, like we don't have an apex predator on the landscape.
Last summer, the Copper Creek Pack became the first confirmed wolf pack in the state since the reintroduction of gray wolves in Colorado. At that time, they were in Grand County.
Total panic and heartbreak.
We've spoken with Doug Bruchet
We had a dead calf, wolf prints everywhere.
about these wolves and how they impacted his herd. In August of 2024, Colorado Parks and Wildlife announced they were capturing the pack, which was behind several livestock killings or depredations in the area. The state moved them, and now they're in Pitkin County.
They were just literally being thrown out to the wolves.
The Colorado Wolf Restoration and Management Plan says that moving depredating wolves to a different part of the state will not be considered, since it's viewed as moving the problem along with the wolves. The CPW Director Jeff Davis has said the plan calls for flexibility, continuing to say that removing the male at the time would have been fatal to the pups.
We're against the fact that we weren't told that we have this known depredating wolves that relocated for the 3rd time to us.
It wasn't long before Cervani and Day started seeing the changes.
2 weeks go by. I asked him, well, hey, did one of my heifers jump in with yours? And he said no. And so then I'm thinking, well, I need to find this thing. Then I notice I'm missing another one.
On 4 different days in May, Pitkin County livestock was killed or seriously injured by the wolves, and CPW called a special commission meeting on July 7th about the Copper Creek Pack.
These depredations occurred despite the producers having implemented all viable, reasonable, and effective non-lethal deterrence measures.
Commissioners discussed how on May 29th, one wolf from the pack was killed by CPW to try and change the behavior of the overall pack. They've also increased hazing of the wolves in the area.
Here's your 4 o'clock drive-ins. That's
the hazing program.
That's the hazing deal.
But these two don't believe these strategies or the removal of one wolf is working.
For one, that was 58 seconds out of 54 minutes.
And a range rider caught it on video one night, something they say is just a quick look at what the cattle deal with for hours.
It just makes me sick, makes everybody involved in our operation sick to see our cows get chased like that we've spent all this time taking care of, avoid chasing them. That's not how we move them. We don't chase them. Those are our cows. They're part of the family, and no good.
I think there's data out there that suggests that we may not have modified that pack behavior enough.
Then, as Cervani and Day could have guessed, on July 18th, another calf was killed. Day says it was one from his herd.
It's extremely frustrating to see death alone where it naturally happens, but something that is kind of thrusted on you that doesn't need to be there, super frustrating.
They believe the plan to pay back producers who lose livestock is only a snapshot of what that animal is worth at the time.
The potential of what that cow and the genetics, and now that cow is out of the herd. So, and they don't pay for any of that. They just pay for the actual loss of that calf.
We've been reaching out to Colorado Parks and Wildlife and the governor since July 7th, asking for an interview about the Copper Creek pack, so we can bring questions from these producers straight to the people in charge. Governor Jared Polis sending a statement instead of doing an interview that says in part he did not advocate for, oppose, or support the ballot measure that brought wolves to Colorado.
Jeff Davis sat right there on our patio and said that he did not know that they would not move, that they would just set up shop here.
I'm going to defend these producers all day long. They're good people doing all the right things and trying to hang on to hope.
In that July 7th meeting, Davis was vocal about considering all options when it comes to this pack.
So we need to throw all the tools and actions that we can to do this, right? And in my experience, that's rarely full pack removal.
But Cervani and Day are wondering who is actually in charge.
They know what we're going through is wrong. They know that this pack should be removed. But at the end of the day, they're telling us that Governor Polis is making that decision.
We've had plenty of other problems that we can just go deal with and fix. And this one we can't.
Two producers pushing for some kind of solution.
You really feel like how small you are in this big machine of politics.
There may be trouble in paradise.
Still what we love to do.
But Pitkin County is their home. We spent hours on that ranch in the Aspen area and walked away with countless questions for CPW. And we wanted answers, so we took those straight to the top. Since this conversation changes every day, you'll notice later in the special when we interview Davis, he was the CPW director at that time, but now you have some context about how that working relationship ended.
I've had this position for over 2 years, although I arguably age in dog years or wolf years. So I feel like I've been here about 700 years.
We had a lot of questions and 30 minutes on Thursday with the director of Colorado Parks and Wildlife, Jeff Davis.
Looking at the program up till today, if you were to assign a grade to it, what would you give to the wolf program?
I would say probably a B.
Davis sat down with me and our digital executive producer, Stephanie Butzer.
A lot of the ranchers I've spoken with believe there's a lot of secrecy around the wolf reintroduction program. Would you agree with that assessment of it?
When it comes to my favorite word, transparency, I think that means different things to a whole lot of different people. We have to keep these animals and their locations safe.
Specifically, we had questions about one pack in Pitkin County, which was moved by the state there after a history of conflict with livestock in Grand County.
I want to get into the wolf reintroduction plan, and specifically that one portion that says that CPW will not move depredating wolves because they see it as moving a problem along with the wolves. Why go back on that plan when it comes to the Copper Creek pack?
It calls for a lot of adaptive management. Could we have foreseen that in the first year of relocations that we would have a breeding pair in that location, in that situation? No, no one could have predicted that.
Since the wolves have been in Pitkin County, there have been 7 confirmed instances of depredation since March. That's when livestock is either killed or seriously injured by the wolves. It's something ranchers in the area thought would happen.
So CPW did know there were cattle nearby the release site?
Yes.
Yes.
We are trying to select locations that have the least amount of likelihood for cattle conflict.
One of the concerns expressed by Pitkin County producers is they were saying, we're not asking for the Copper Creek pack to be killed, but why not move them again?
Why not replicate the thing I'm being attacked for?
Or move them, they suggested, into some kind of captivity potentially?
Yeah, I think captivity, this is just my personal opinion. You're taking a wide-ranging animal and putting them in captivity. I think that's a worse sentence than lethal removal.
No chance to move them again. They're staying where they are.
And I'll also say, just operationally, we're not going to catch them all.
Instead, CPW is actively trying to kill a wolf in that pack. They've already killed one, trying to alter their behavior. And Davis hopes there's a way forward with producers and the pack.
We got to focus on the common ground, because there's a lot more common ground than areas of disagreement. And when we can do that, like, this will go a lot better.
Back in Denver, an unexpected shakeup at CPW really highlights how quickly this conversation changes. Near the end of November, the director of CPW, Jeff Davis, suddenly stepped down, with the state originally reporting he's just moving into a new role at the Colorado Department of Natural Resources. But documents obtained by Denver7 show Davis only resigned to avoid being fired. Davis signed that settlement agreement on November 22nd, releasing, quote, any and all claims he may have had against DNR as part of the terms of that agreement. We wanted to know more about what led up to Davis's departure, so I filed a Colorado Open Records Act request asking for any emails related to his work performance. I was sent this heavily redacted email thread where we can only see what HR emailed Davis on November 21st. It says Davis was presented with two options. One, the agreement to work in a full-time, term-limited role for 6 months. The other option that Davis turned down meant he would have been fired with 3 months' pay. Davis officially resigned on December 1st. Major General Laura Clellan taking over the position in the interim until a new CPW director is hired. That job pays anywhere from $195,000 to $215,000 a year, according to this job posting from the state. A new year means new wolves in Colorado, but where will they go? After the break, we're taking you to the southwestern part of the state, where ranchers there are hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. There's a lot of uncertainty about what the future holds for wolves in Colorado, including where the next round will be sourced and released. The spot considered for the next group of wolves is here along Highway 50 between Monarch Pass and Montrose. Cattle ranchers in the Gunnison area are caught in the middle. We spoke with two of them who tell us what's at stake is constantly in the back of their minds. If the wind blows you here,
I would say this landscape is breathtaking.
thank your lucky stars.
I have artists that want to paint it.
This is Castleton Ranch, roughly 7,000 acres, bordered by national forest.
There's no other place like this I know in southern Colorado.
Craig Jackson and his boss, Stella,
Head of security.
showed us around on an unusually warm November day in the Ohio Creek Valley, just north of Gunnison.
I think the worst temp I've ever seen as far as the extreme low is 47 below.
Jackson's worked here for 9 years, a job where he finds joy.
Does it ever get old?
No. It's challenging, but it's never old. You meet the challenge every day, whether it's snow or wolves or whatever, you meet the challenge.
As the general ranch manager, he's thinking about how to best prepare the property and cattle
Probably about 300 cow-calf pair, and then we run some yearlings.
for the next round of wolves, the apex predator being reintroduced to Colorado, likely heading somewhere between Gunnison and Montrose at the start of 2026.
I don't hate wolves. I don't like the conflict.
What would be your biggest concerns about next year?
You know, that's tough because I don't have a crystal ball.
While the future is foggy, the clash between cattle producers and gray wolves is nothing new. Denver7 has documented such depredations in the past, when a wolf either kills or injures livestock.
You know, it's like preparing for a hurricane. You don't know how big or how hard it's going to hit.
Colorado Parks and Wildlife says they've expanded their conflict minimization and depredation investigation assets over the course of this last year.
We know it's coming. We just want deliberate, intensive management.
No matter how much work they do, a giant question hangs over their heads. Where will the wolves come from? The Trump administration is telling Colorado to stop importing any gray wolves from Canada.
We don't really want the wolves, but if we're going to take the wolves, I think the lesser of the two evils would be the wolves out of Canada.
He says that in part because of the Copper Creek Pack, a controversial group of wolves that came from Oregon. Down the road and to the east of Gunnison,
I was born here.
Greg Peterson doesn't have a preference on where the wolves are from.
If I had to say where I would want them to come, it would be wolves that had never seen livestock. But the reality is a wolf is a wolf.
Peterson says he's angry heading into the new year.
We're already feeling the impacts and they haven't even dropped wolves here.
Are you at all concerned for your livelihood?
I'd say possibly. I mean, I'm not going to say that I've thought about going out of business now, but it could reach a point, I suppose, if I just didn't want to put up with it.
For Peterson and Jackson, it's a way of life, and one they can't imagine leaving behind.
Sometimes you just slow down and you're like, what else would I have done, you know?
The wind blew them here.
Just feeling that we've been kind of hung out in the wind, unprepared.
And the two want to do everything they can to stay.
CPW tells us they're exploring the possibility of using artificial intelligence to help trigger devices that scare wolves. Ultimately, their goal is to condition the wolves to learn livestock is not easy prey. At the end of the day, wolves, ranchers, and Colorado as a whole have been thrown into the realities of reintroduction, and growing pains have made the future hard to imagine. The state believes there's a way to make this work, while those living with wolves in their backyard are waiting for some kind of a light at the end of the tunnel. No matter what happens next, Denver7 will continue to cover all sides of this story, and we can only do so with your help. Feel free to reach out to me, scan that QR code on the bottom of your screen to get in touch with me. Thanks for joining us on this special edition of Denver7. I'm Colette Bordelon.